Deputy Sheriff Frank Ramirez Jr., Independence County Sheriff's Office, Arkansas. EMT Major Dean Douglas, Little Rock, Arkansas. Firefighter Casey Callwood, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Firefighter Paramedic Scott Williams, Lamont, Illinois. Welcome back to American Sons Podcast. My name is Christian, and I have a great episode planned for you guys. Just a few things I want to touch on. A little overview. We're going to talk about Biden's speech today about this new variant of COVID, the variant itself, the Waukesha parade killing that happened a few days ago, and troll accounts. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I was home today and I was going to make lunch, and I got a notification on my phone from Twitter that Biden was about to speak. And I figured, you know what, I'll listen to it while I make a salad and see what he has to say about this new variant. And it was nothing short of comedic, honestly. I mean, first things first, he sounds like he's there but not there, if that makes any sense. Like, he just sounds like he's living in a cloud. Like, he's just repeating what's being told to him. It sounds like he's talking off a teleprompter, pretty much, like a newscaster. And even more so, he brought up Fauci to talk about this new variant. And I don't even understand why we're still listening to this guy. It was proven he lied to Congress, and the White House is still bringing him up to talk. If this would have been Trump, this would have been all over the news. Like, they'd be calling for resignations. People would be being forced to quit. They'd be getting canceled. It's just like our world is backwards. Everything right is wrong, and everything wrong is right. And it's just like this constant theme for everything that's going on across the country. And I just want to talk about, so Biden, he gave this speech, yada, 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 and kind of just like cherry-picked and sugar-coated everything, and, you know, gave it a little fear tactic here and there like he always does. But we got to the end where he starts talking to reporters, and I'm actually surprised he took questions, to be honest. It seems like he had it planned who he was going to call on. He knew them by first name, which isn't unusual because they are White House reporters. But, like, everything these reporters are asking, it seems like he has this perfect answer for what they're asking. Almost like he knows what they're going to ask before they ask it. It's weird because you see him make these speeches where they're, like, almost, like, delusional. Like, it's just, like, all over the place. He's just kind of spouting. It sounds like what other people have told him to say, and then he gets to these, like, let's talk about, like, his speeches, like, his campaign speeches, or when he goes out and campaigns for people. It's so weird. He's just all over the place. It's just random stuff. But then, like, you have him asking, or have him calling on these reporters, and it's like, none of that stuff even happened. Like, it's like off the cuff is extremely perfect. It's weird. It's almost like they're asking questions that are pre-planned. Weird, I know. So basically, with this new variant, and this is what his speech was about, the big thing they're pushing now, well, there's a few things they're pushing, and they're trying to do the masks indoors again and the social distancing. I'll tell you what, you ain't going to find me doing either of those things because we're not going back to that. And I think you're going to see a very big pushback with the masking indoors if the states even follow it. I'll be interested to see which businesses actually follow it if they do put out like a new recommendation at the CDC or whatever. And then as well as this, he's restricting travel to South Africa or from South Africa, either or. But if we think back when Trump was still in office, when everything started, all this stuff with COVID and the quote-unquote pandemic, you see Trump try to do this from certain countries, and he gets called a racist. He's keeping immigrants from coming to America. Like, you have Biden, you have Kamala, you have all these key well, not even key because they're not key, but you have all these political figureheads that are calling Trump derogatory terms and talking down on the fact that he's restricting travel in response to COVID. Now Biden, the one who said that stuff about Trump, is doing the same thing to try to do what Trump was trying to do in the first place. And then they want to talk about how Trump did nothing and this is all Trump's fault, yada, yada, yada. You know how it goes. When it comes back to that, everything right is wrong and everything wrong is right. It's like exactly what they were calling Trump and when Trump was doing the exact opposite of what they were saying, now is suddenly okay, but only if they're doing it. If their Lord and Savior Biden does it, it's going to be all okay. Like him using a racial slur about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. He used that term and it's like where do people draw the line? You have this whole cancel culture of people that are trying to stand up to racism and the whole list of everything they're trying to cancel people over. But when their president does it, the one that they are hailing the Lord and Savior Biden, that's going to fix everything. When he does it, no one says anything. It's like nothing ever happened. Oh, it's his speech impediment. Oh, okay, my bad. You know what that is? That's called dementia, and that's called he's saying what's actually on his mind and what he thinks of people. But you want to call Trump a racist or that he was a racist when Trump did more things for the black community than Obama did. It just makes no sense to me. Oh. How again, going back to it, everything that's wrong is right and everything that's right is wrong. It's backwards. Everything is backwards. So let's get to this Omicron, however you say it, variant. It's weird that this variant, quote unquote variant, comes out and they're saying it's targeting younger people, or that's what they said at first, right around the same time that they're trying to push this COVID shot, this vaccination, quote unquote. You can't even call it a vaccine at this point. When they're trying to push this vaccine onto the younger generation or younger age group. It's crazy that this comes out at the same time, let alone the fact that it's, it's like it's a fear tactic for one. And I saw a few articles from the UK saying it's going to cause chaos in schools. No, it's not. It's not going to cause chaos in schools. It's just another fear tactic, whether it's real or not. Just like the Delta variant, it's not a big deal. And they're just using this to keep perpetuating the fear of COVID-19. People wanted to call people conspiracy theorists that said at the beginning of this that, hey, 2 weeks is going to turn to this, masks are going to turn into this, and they're going to give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. And it's crazy now that all the conspiracy theorists are correct. But no one wants to say that. Everyone's ego, who are on the other side, their ego is so blown up that they have to double down instead of saying, yeah, I was wrong. That's what it is. They're doing too much. They're trying to take advantage of people's rights and freedoms. Now they just go along with it when they know it's wrong. Everyone knows it's wrong. Why are businesses still requiring masks when there's studies saying, yeah, they don't work? Like, that's fine. You're a business. You can do what you want. But I'll tell you right now, the businesses that are going along with these mandates with the masks and vaccination passports and all this stuff, they're going to suffer in the end because the majority of people know what's up. And the majority of people agree. If you're seeing what's happening and you're looking right through it like it's transparent, you're not a minority. You're a majority. Most people think the exact same way and they have the same exact thoughts you do. So going off of that, these businesses that are doing this stuff and are restricting certain people and quite frankly, discriminating against their customer base, which, I'll say how it is. It's discrimination. If I walk into a business and they say, where's your vaccine passport? And whether I produce one or not, and I don't give anything to them, and they say, hey, you can't come in here because you don't have a vaccine passport. If you don't have the vaccine, you're not coming in here. There's no difference between that and telling someone their skin's a different color than yours, or they have a different sexual orientation, or they like different people, so they're not coming in here. There's no difference. And if you think there's a difference, you have a problem, because there isn't. You know, I've been saying this. I've said this on I think one of our earlier episodes when we first started podcasting. But I really am surprised that we haven't gotten to a point yet where they're saying, "Hey, you're not vaccinated, so you can't use this vending machine. Hey, you can't use this water fountain. Hey, you're not vaccinated, so you need to sit in that part of the room." You know, to protect everybody else. You know, we already have a lot of businesses, we have the state mandating only people who do not have the vaccine have to get tested weekly. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't follow any science that's out there. They want to scream, follow the science, la, 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 la. If we are following the science, everyone would get tested. If you're going to do it for one group, you have to do it for the other, because both groups can carry and transmit this virus. So why are we not testing both? You know, the teachers have to get tested if they're not vaccinated because we have to keep our children safe. That makes no sense. Why, if it's really about keeping your children safe in school, why are you not testing both? Why is it suddenly just an issue if you're not vaccinated, when both can carry and give your kids the virus? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's not about health. This is about power. They're slowly chipping away, seeing how much they can take, because then they're going to jump to a different topic. Well, you know, if your personal freedom stops where other people's safety starts, then you can't have a gun. Why should you have a gun if you could shoot somebody else? And I think that is why, part of the reason why the Rittenhouse case kind of blew up a little bit. It was definitely an attack on self-defense, and they were trying to make an example out of him. I don't think a lot of people from the administration and that are pushing for gun laws I don't think they expected him to go not guilty at all. But let's jump off this variant stuff and Biden a little bit. And let's go to the Waukesha parade and what happened. So you had this Christmas parade going on, a little early for a Christmas parade, I must say. But nonetheless, they had this parade going on, and this guy, I'm not even going to say his name because I'm not going to give him the light. He rammed his SUV through this parade, killing multiple people and injuring even 4 or 5 times more people. We're talking kids, adults, elderly. I mean, it is just horrible. And it's important to note, and this shouldn't be important to note at this point in society, but they want to do it with the Rittenhouse stuff. And then they're going to backtrack and not do it with this. They're calling Rittenhouse a white supremacist, and when he shot and killed white people, it doesn't make sense. They're calling him a white supremacist, and he's racist, and he's a killer and a murderer. But then you have this guy, the guy who carried out this parade killing, and if you go look at his Facebook, it's pretty apparent he doesn't like white people, and this is a black guy. He has a bunch of racist remarks on his Facebook page about white people, and that he doesn't like white people, and something to the effect of that, don't be mad when we knock back. On white people. This is a pretty open-ended case here, or not an open-ended case, a close-end case rather. This was a racially motivated attack. I mean, call it like it is. If this was spun the other way around, and the guy who did the running over was white, and the parade was all black people, there would be such an upheaval. Places would be burning. Everyone would be rioting. There would just be his huge calls for BLM. And it's not happening here. Where is the where is the condemning of this guy for doing that? You know, they want to take someone like Rittenhouse or any other case where the person's white and generalize it over all white people. But then, oh, this is okay. No. This is good. This is good. No, I mean, that they're acting like this never happened. And you have places like CNN and all these media outlets who are just kind of letting it go, trying to kind of skirt it under the rug like it never happened and not call it like it is. You know, they want to portray the white person as the bad person, and that the white person needs to pipe it down a little bit and stop saying what they think. But and then when something happens, when someone acts off of that, it's suddenly not an issue. They don't want to report on it. And I'll take all the flack. I mean, give me all the flack for saying that, but it's true. If the roles reverse, the country would be burning right now. That's how it's been for years. And it's not. It's so obvious, but no one wants to say anything because people are scared to get canceled or called a racist. Man, racism. There is racism in the country. But the most people who spew the most racism are usually the people who go around calling everybody else a racist. You know, just live your life. Seriously. The whole country, United States has some issues, but like not to the effect that you think it does, not to the effect that the media portrays it as. Like if the media portrays that, let's just say this. Okay. The media portrays pit bulls are bad. This is a good one. Pit bulls are bad. They're horrible dogs. They bite everybody. No one should own them. They're a threat to our kids or a threat to everybody. At some point or another, people are going to start believing that. If that's all you see, the media keeps harping on it and harping on it and harping on it. Eventually, yeah, those pit bulls are going to get a bad rap, and people are going to stop owning pit bulls. And the reason I use that is because I know a ton of people with pit bulls, and they're the most loving dogs you can ever have. I love them. They have so much personality. Every single pit bull I know would never bite a soul. They wouldn't do anything. They are scared of a fly. But if the media was saying, hey, pit bulls are bad, they're vicious dogs, they're going to attack you whenever you see them, people are going to be scared. They're not going to buy pit bulls. They're not going to adopt pit bulls. They're going to look down upon people who do have pit bulls. It works the same way across the board. When you have the media who's on your phones, they own they own Instagram, Facebook. I mean, they're all in this general circle, and they all spew the same stuff. And when you spend your life on those platforms and follow those media outlets, and that's all you're taking in, garbage in, garbage out. So if that's all you're taking in, that's all you're going to spew out as well. If I'll go back to the pit bulls again, if the media constantly does that, well, you're going to see someone walking down the street, the pit bull, and you're going to go a few more feet to the right or left to kind of get some distance. It's the same stuff going on with COVID. That's the same stuff going on with race relations. That's the same stuff going on with everything. Everything is blown out of proportion and to make you think it's doomsday and the world's falling apart when it's not. So it's just something to think about. This event that took place, this horrible event, I mean, it is just disgusting. There are kids who are dead, and it's just gross. The fact that this would ever even happen. And I think not only is this guy to blame that did it, but also Andy Frisella talked about this, and he blames the media. And I have to agree. The media is at fault for this, as well as BLM, spewing racist, anti-white rhetoric, and anybody else who does the same thing. The general consensus about BLM, if you don't support BLM, you don't support Black Lives. And that's not true. The BLM movement is not a bad movement. I mean, Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter. They all matter. I could get behind that. But the actual organization that runs this is completely corrupt, and no one can see it. It's just like on Thanksgiving Day, they're posting stuff about how this is stolen land and how we're celebrating stolen land with Thanksgiving. Yeah, shut up. No one cares. Seriously. It's just a stupid social movement, and they've caused so much rioting and havoc. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on, because honestly, I hate talking about the the parade killing, because honestly, it makes me kind of sad. Not kind of, it does. And I think anybody else with half a brain cell can agree with that. And that it's horrible that happened. Other than that, the last thing I want to talk about on today's podcast, or today's episode rather, is troll accounts. We've been getting some troll accounts on our Instagram page lately, and I feel like that means we're doing something right. And I know it's a troll account because it's always somebody with no followers and they follow nobody and they're commenting something distasteful or anti-Republican or something like that. It's always they have no followers, they're following nobody. They have the same one post on their Instagram page every single time. They have no profile picture, and the post always posts on our Instagram at the same time every single day, and they'll do it on like three different posts. We've got it on our YouTube now, and now we're getting on Instagram. I think it's a matter of time before we get on Facebook. But that tells me we're doing something right. It's pretty bad when you start getting people hating on you, and I don't even think it's a real person. I think it's some troll bot farm that just sees the stuff we post, and it can go through the wording in our post, probably the Rittenhouse stuff, because this didn't happen until I started posting Rittenhouse stuff on our Instagram, or not even our Instagram. I guess it was just more of like the COVID stuff, but I think it's pretty funny that we know we're doing something right when we start getting these troll accounts on our Instagram page and other social media outlets. So if you're out there and you like to troll, if you're listening to this, I think it's funny. We all think it's funny. And you're not doing anything. We delete and block each of them, so it's not a huge deal to us. We're just going to block you and forget about you. But it's a good laugh. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for listening. Today was a shorter episode. It is only me. Again, we're having some problems with work schedules. It's just we all have very sporadic schedules of work and family lives and the holidays and everything. So, I mean, we're doing our best to have everybody on when we can. But the main thing is that we get an episode out to you guys every Tuesday. And the reason it's usually me, if it's only a solo and it's just me, is because we do all the recording at my place and I edit the stuff. So if no one can make it, I just record one solo. So we might have some things here on out where we have other people jumping in by phone, or we have Dylan or Hunter jumping in by phone if they are remote, if they can't make it to my place to record. So be looking out for that. We're working on it. We don't want it to sound crappy or like bad quality if we do try that. So we're doing our best to get stuff out with everything going on and the chaos world we live in, or the chaotic world we live in, rather. Sorry. So that is the episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please share the episode. We've been running a few ads or a few sponsored posts on Facebook. So if you're listening off of Facebook, thank you for liking the page and following us there. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we're on Instagram, TikTok. You can email us at americansonspodcast@gmail.com. I'm going to try to start. We're going to keep posting. We're going to try to post a little bit more often here on out. Maybe some more TikTok stuff. So just keep your eyes peeled on that. And again, thank you so much for listening. We will see you next week.
I am the American son, never backing down, ain't never gonna run. I am the American son, never backing down, ain't never gonna run. I am the American son, never backing down, ain't never gonna run. I am the American son, gonna take it to my grave when my days